property tour, shall we? Brian Lebo here, and today we're up in the Northwest. We're up in the Lone Mountain Corridor. Very beautiful, very picturesque, up against the mountains. And this neighborhood was built by Pinnacle Homes. And this home features an incredible feature that less than 1% of all homes in Las Vegas have. And the way this was executed was the best level of execution that I think I may have ever seen in a production style home like this. So you're gonna really enjoy the end of the main floor. Now we're starting the tour different because I wanted to show this courtyard entry. I love these courtyard entries because of a few reasons. One, it's just nice to have a nice sort of reveal when you come up to the property. But here you have this security fence. So you can lock this, secure it so no one can even approach your front door, which also allows you the ability to put a glass front door, a pivot door, and you don't have to worry about someone walking right up to it and looking right into the dwelling. Love the upgrade here. So here we have this gray timber stone, kind of like a travertine, very dramatic, very elegant, goes up about 20 feet high, and just gives a really nice reveal as we get to the property. Like we normally do, we're gonna start off in the kitchen, but we're gonna talk about the flooring along the way. So the entire main floor of this property consists of 12 by 24 inch porcelain tile, very, very common in more modern design applications. Really lovely and fits the general aesthetic. So let's start off with the island. So this is a massive trapezoidal island. Yeah, I had to go back to remedial geometry and look that one up, but I was right. It's a trapezoid, I believe. So we have our Calcutta quartz counter surface. It's actually a custom fabrication. So it took 2 entire slabs to comprise the top of this counter surface. And then we have a 2.5 inch edge profile around the island. But let's talk about the cabinetry first. So here we have our contemporary shaker style cabinetry with a modern flat crown. Really, really nice ash gray wood veneer, really, really nice. Coming down a little bit farther, I really like how clean and simple the aesthetic is in the kitchen. So the entire backsplash area is a nice subway stacked ceramic tile. Just gives it a really nice, clean, fresh look. Speaking of this area, let's talk about cooking. So here we have our Thermador 48 inch professional grill top series. All the appliances you're gonna see are all matching Thermador. And of course we have the matching 48 inch ventilation hood. Let's get to the island here. So one of my man brain, one of my really, really important criteria for kitchens like this is the sight line. And I love the fact that when you're cooking, when you're here at the sink preparing, the moment you look straight up, you're looking straight at the television, and the orientation of the kitchen and fan room is such that anyone who's hanging out watching TV or in that space, you guys can all communicate, and the person who's cooking can still participate in watching whatever's on television. So I love that. Coming down a little further, oh, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Unfortunately, we only have 1 dishwasher, but we're under 3 million by quite some. So if you want 2 dishwashers, you just gotta spend 3.1 million. Of course, I'm kidding because that's not an actual rule, but perfectly fine, 1 dishwasher in the kitchen. There may be a surprise later when we get to it. Coming down a little bit farther down the line, here we have the matching Thermador double ovens. So very nice, very modern, wonderful. Let's dip over in this direction a little bit. So coming down the line, same Calcutta quartz, same ceramic subway style tacked backsplash. And then here we have our built-in large Thermador microwave. A lot of people ask, why is the microwave so low? And the logical answer to that is, if you do have small children, and this is more of a family style home, if you do have small children, the last thing you want is for them to be on their tippy toes, trying to grab something really hot out of the microwave and spilling it on themselves. So this eradicates that problem, so it's great for parents. For those of us that grew up in the 80s, hey man, that's part of growing up. So different world we live in. Over here we have our Thermador refrigeration. So we have a built-in Thermador on a 70-30 split, refrigeration 70, freezer 30. Very nice, very lovely. Now let's come down this direction a little bit further. Over here we have kind of like a little morning bar area where you can put your countertop appliances. They have their coffee maker here right now. And then this is kind of a neat area. May run into some redundancy as you'll see later on, but this is kind of neat. So here, this little drop zone area, they made into a dry bar. So you can see they have their wine glasses. You can put some spirits here. And this is the garage. So if you had that kind of a day, you can literally walk right in from the garage and go straight to the bottle. I may subscribe to that theory. Now, speaking of garage, behind us is the main garage. So this is a 2-bay garage. This houses the water softener system, the 2 water heaters, and it even has a NEMA 1450 plug if you do have an electric vehicle. And then over here on the right side, this is our walk-in pantry. So really, really, really neat. All right, let's come down this direction a little bit more. We actually forgot to talk about the Nook area, Drew. So we're gonna flip around over here. One of the things that I love about this house is there is an abundance of natural light. So we have our breakfast nook area over here, and you can just see right here, we have 7 windows just in this little space. That's probably one of the biggest main features of this property is you don't even need to turn the lights on during the day because it is so bright and open and airy. Speaking of bright, open and airy, let's check out this area. So the family room is arguably the best part of the house because this is double height ceilings. So while the home is 4,000 square feet, this really makes you feel like you are in a large home because it is so open and so spacious. Even this wall up here, we've got 6 linear windows. Again, an abundance of natural light. And you can't have modern design without having indoor outdoor. So here we have a 16-foot long slider, perfect for that ingress and egress if you want to enjoy some time outside. Now let's get to more of the family room. So really neat. I love what they did building this media wall. So a really nice modern aesthetic. They went with another 12 by 24 inch tile. Really cool. We've got our mantle. This is an 85-inch display, and we've got our Sonos Ultra Arc sound bar. So you got a little surround sound action going on. Really, really neat, really nice place. Let's go behind this wall and let's check out this area because I'm gonna say this is more of a flex space, and I wanna read your comments. What would you guys really use this for? There is an essence of redundancy here. So again, I would love to see what your ideas are for this space. And keep in mind, this is a little bit visible to the family room. So your guests are going to see this. Now, we have another slider system. This implementation is about 12 feet long. So this leads you right again out into the patio. The patio cover spans the entire length of the home, so you do have tons of shade, and this would be great for ingress and egress as well. Coming down a little bit farther, this is where it gets interesting. So over here we have a full-fledged wet bar area, denoted by the fact that we do have our Kohler undermount sink. So this is where I said you get a little bit into the redundancy where you have the dry bar next to the garage, and then you have a full wet bar over here. I guess it depends on how badly you need that drink when you get off. But this is a great space. You even have refrigeration here under the counter surface. So really neat. And this could be basically a lounge area. You could put a pool table here. Again, I really would like to hear what your thoughts are. Now, on the flip side of this media wall, we didn't talk about the fireplace. You do have a 2-way fireplace by Heat and Glow. I believe it's a 55-inch implementation, so really nice, really neat that you could see it both sides. Now, what's hiding behind this wall art is we do have electrical, so if you did want to put an opposing display on this side of the media wall, you could just mount it right up there, and of course we have our seating. One idea that I thought would be kind of neat is if you were to turn this into, you know, a full-fledged bar area. This would be perfect for a wine closet, perfect depth, so you could do anything, any fabrication, any customization you like. But I thought that'd be really neat as a wine closet. All right, now that we've seen this area, we're gonna head down this hallway and see what's going on because very soon we're gonna get to one of the coolest features of this home. First, let's check out this powder bathroom. So over here in this powder bathroom, this is what your guests are likely going to be using. We have our toilet, and this is a beautiful area. So we have the same shaker style cabinetry, but here now, instead of the Calcutta quartz, we transition to this pure white quartz. Love the cleanliness of it. Above mount sink, and then this accent wall is beautiful. So it's a stone like mosaic with an antique mirror finish inlaid in between it. So it really, really pops in person. I love what they did. Now across from the half bathroom is a closet, but this closet is actually pretty useful. This goes in about 8 feet deep. You can see it has a safe in there right now, but a very useful spot. But this is what we were talking about. This really sets this home apart from like 99.9% of the homes in Las Vegas. And the reason is, you know, in more modern times, it's not uncommon to have, you know, your mother or mother-in-law living with you. So whether you have your parents living with you, or you have, you know, a child that's in college and wants a little bit more of their own autonomy, or if you're just that friend who houses the friend in that circle who always is coming in and out of places, you could throw your buddy in here and he can be like Kato Kalin to your OJ. But this is cool because this door segregates this next gen living suite, which is what Lennar calls it, but this is basically a full-fledged apartment. So this door can be completely secured. That way you couldn't get into the main dwelling. So let's check out this apartment because there's some pretty awesome features here. Like I said, it's not uncommon to have a casita or to have an additional living space downstairs, but this is a full-fledged apartment. And we're gonna start off with this. This is awesome because this is our third bay garage. So if you were to utilize this as a full-fledged apartment, whoever is living in this space can pull right into their garage, come right in the garage door, and then they're in their apartment. Incredibly, incredibly useful. And even over here, we have this slider that leads to the courtyard entry. So again, if they had their own guest and they didn't want them coming into the dwelling, they could come right up to the slider door. You could still secure with that fence, and then they can come into this little apartment. Really, really, really awesome feature. We're currently in the family room area. So if we pan over this direction, you can see we have about a 75-inch television, which is way more than ample for this space. Really cool. But now let's check out the kitchen nook area because this is something that never, ever, ever happens. So we have another slider, but this slider leads us outside into this small covered patio area. And the only one that has access to this covered patio area is this apartment. There's no way to access this from the main dwelling or any other access point. So you have your own private patio. That is such a cool feature. Again, whoever's living in this space, it would be a joy to live in this space. Even in an apartment, you're almost never gonna have a garage that's attached to the dwelling. Coming into the kitchen, even here, nothing is skimped. So once again, we have the pure white quartz counter surfaces. We have the same kind of ash gray shaker style cabinetry. But look what's lurking. Guys, we do have another dishwasher. It's not Thermador, it's Bosch. But guess what? We're under 3 million and you still get 2 dishwashers and you kind of have 2 different dwellings as well. Undermount Kohler sink, nothing cheaped out, nice LG stainless steel refrigerator. And even back here, you have a walk-in pantry in this little apartment area. So really, really cool. All right, let's come down this area and check this out because it's a full-fledged apartment. This is awesome. I mean, at this junction, you kind of get that it's a full-fledged apartment, so you would expect it, but this is neat. So here we have a GE stackable washer dryer, but what I love about it is this closet receptacle is wide enough that you could actually put a full-fledged washer and dryer and stack them. So if you have a Samsung or an LG or the new LG that's more of a professional series, you can put everything in here and really there's no compromise at all because you have an abundance of space. Really neat. Over here on the right side, this is our full bathroom. So we have a walk-in shower, nice vanity, perfect to service this space. And this services the bedroom as well as any guest that would be in the main apartment area. Coming into the bedroom, perfectly sized bedroom. We've got a 65-inch TV mounted. This is the side of the property. But what's crazy is even here we have a large walk-in closet. I mean, this is almost the size of a primary suite in a normal home's closet. All right, guys, we have now finished the entire main floor of the property. Let's go upstairs, let's see some other secondary bedrooms, and let's see what's going on in the primary suite. All All right, guys, welcome to the second floor. Now, obviously, here's the stairs that we just came up. Behind the camera is the actual primary suite, but we're gonna start off over here in the loft and check out a couple of the secondary bedrooms. So walking into the loft, lofts are wonderful if you have children, you wanna keep their toys and everything up here and away from any guests that come into the property. But I love this vantage point because right here, when we hang off the balcony railing, you can oversee the entire family room, the kitchen, and again, the abundance of natural light. You can see we have 12 linear horizontal windows just on these two walls. Just incredible being up here, the feeling. Coming down a little bit farther in the loft area, you see we have a slider, and this extends for an entire balcony, the length of this upstairs area. And we have beautiful unobstructed views of all of North Las Vegas. So really a lovely place to kind of hang out if you want to have like a drink at night and take in the sights. Really, really neat. All right, let's check out the bathroom that services these two secondary bedrooms. So coming into this bathroom, a perfect secondary bathroom. We've got a walk-in shower, same pure white quartz counter surface, elevated vanity, really everything you would possibly need for a secondary bathroom. Now let's check out the first of the two bedrooms. Coming into this bedroom, good size, linear window. Once again, we've got those views of all of North Las Vegas from this window. Probably was an option. What would be kind of nice, unless you have small children, this would be kind of cool to convert into a slider, so that way you actually have access to that balcony that you're staring at right in front of your window. Across the hallway, we have another secondary bedroom. So this is the side of the home. Perfect normal secondary bedroom, recessed lighting in every room throughout the house. This one's wired for a ceiling fan, even though the fan's not there right now. All right, now that we've seen this space, let's come down the hallway a little bit. Let's check out the primary suite, but before we get to the primary suite, we gotta check out the laundry room. So over here on the right is our laundry room. So check it out. We've got 2 dishwashers in this house and we have 2 laundry rooms. So we're checking off some boxes here. So of course we have our washer dryer, typical configuration. Here we still have pure white quartz counter surface. We have our sink, same cabinetry, a perfect laundry room, perfect implementation. Now, crossing this threshold, now we get into the actual primary suite. So this primary suite in the front of the property, and I love this area. So over here on the left side of the bed, we have a tremendous amount of space. This is like more of like your retreat area. But once again, you can see all of these windows. So here we have vertical windows, and just once again, just gives so much natural light. We've got a California king bed here to give you an idea as far as the size and scope. Right across from the bed, we have our television, and this is really cool. So once again, we have another slider, and we have a private balcony, which is also covered. So if you wanted to roll out of bed, have a glass of water, stretch a minute, kind of survey the territory, you can do it right there. Really, really neat. All right, coming around this corner to the left, now we're gonna get into the primary bathroom. So first off, we have this kind of drop zone area. So if you wanted to fold some towels, do whatever. We do have cabinetry underneath, so you can keep any over extras. We've got our water closet over here to the right. Then coming into the actual bathroom, over here on the left side, this is his vanity. Once again, elevated, above mount sink. You have this beautiful mosaic tile, kind of a backsplash right behind the sink. And then on this side, denoted by the makeup vanity, this is her side. So perfect, really lovely. Coming down a little bit farther, we have our walk-in closet, really nice size walk-in closet. And then we have another closet on the opposing wall. So over here, we have a linen closet. So this is where you keep all your sheets, towels, etc., etc. Now, checking out the shower, really large shower. Love that we've got our shelf here. We've got a beautiful 12 by 24 inch honed tile. Porcelain, looks like marble. And we have that same dramatic, really eye-catching mosaic glass tile for a little bit of an accent to give a little drama and break up all the white in there. And then I love what they did here. So the flooring in the bathroom is this 12 by 24 inch concrete gray tile, but then it transitions where the floating bathtub is into a 1 inch tile. So just kind of a cool juxtaposition, even though it's the same kind of material. the sizing really breaks up this area and kind of denotes it as the bathtub. All right, guys, we've seen the main floor, we've seen the second floor. Let's go outside and wrap up the rest of this video. All right, guys, welcome to the backyard. So first off, we crossed the threshold of the 16-foot slider, and it leads us out into this patio cover, which is really, really expansive, the entire length of the entire home over here. So integrated into the property, lovely, we have recessed lighting throughout, but what's really neat is we also have pre-wiring for distributed audio. So if you wanted to have some music while you're outside, dining al fresco, it's already pre-wired, just add the in-ceiling speakers and you're off and running. So wonderful, wonderful. And again, we're in Vegas. So today it's only in the 90s, kind of nice, going from triple digits, and having all this shade just really, really makes this much more livable, much more bearable during those summer months. But let's head out a little bit farther. Let's see what's going on with the rest of this backyard. Now, this is a pretty spacious backyard, to be honest. This entire rock formation area out here, this all could be a pool. So this is most likely where you would be putting the pool. And hey, we even have this decorative rock formation. So I don't know if this is Fred Flintstone's gravesite or what, but we do have a decorative rock formation, so enjoy that. One thing that's cool about this lot is this is elevated. We don't have any neighbors behind us, so you really can enjoy having complete and absolute privacy here since you don't have a home behind you looming over you. Now, coming down the patio cover a little bit farther, we have more of a seating area, and this was that ingress egress we were talking about earlier. This leads us right into that wet bar area, the retreat that was behind the media wall. So really nice to have access to the backyard from both spaces. And then if you're like me, and you really, really, really need to work on your short game, you can take advantage of this nice little putting green area that's set up. Just an incredible property. Guys, tell me what you think. What's your favorite part of your home? And I'm really interested to see how motivating having that integrated apartment into the property is. Like I said earlier, by far less than 1% of homes in all of Las Vegas are gonna have that feature. I mean, that is 0.1%. So really, really unique to have that as a feature for this property. Now, if you're interested in this home, or if there's any other homes that you've seen in my videos that you're interested in, please contact me directly for a private showing. All of my information is in the description below. You can visit leboluxury.com and see more of my work there. In the meantime, special thanks to Leo Rodriguez for allowing me to film this incredible property. Be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Deuces.